G'day, g'day. It's Nick here from Wicked Wildlife again. And with me here we've got Tully, our scrub python, and Tarzan, one of our jungle carpets. And I thought I'd take the chance to talk to you about where it all began, where Wicked Wildlife came from, how I got into doing this. And like most zookeepers and reptile keepers and people who walk my path in life, I suppose I was just born this way. My parents aren't interested in wildlife at all. And as long as I can remember, they'd be trying to stop me catching lizards and bugs and bringing them into their house. But one day when I was a young teenager, I'd finally convinced my mum to fill in my wildlife license. And I don't think she knows what she was doing at the time. But the next week I brought home a little ridge-tailed goanna, a little lizard about that long, named Sahara. She was my first real pet lizard. And from there it just exploded. I'd talk to everybody I could. I went to reptile meetings, I'd chewed through documentaries, and while I was still in high school, I started working for another company, doing birthday parties and agricultural shows and that sort of thing, basically what we do today. After a little while of that, I went north. I went to a zoo in Townsville where I got to deal with some big crocodiles every day. I learned a lot more about venomous snakes. I got to play with dingoes and hand-reared wombat and looked after all their koalas. I came back down south and played with a lot more koalas and got to deal with some cool exotic reptiles. I looked after spitting cobras and rattlesnakes and played with alligators every day, and it was pretty cool stuff. And one day, I guess I was sort of thinking to myself, I wake up early every day to look after all my own animals so that I could go to work and look after somebody else's animals. And I really wanted to start taking shows further out to people who couldn't necessarily come to a zoo. So Wicked Wildlife started from there. At the same time as we started doing shows, I was flying up to central Queensland every month for 3 weeks at a time, working on the gas pipeline. So they'd be digging big trenches through the bush, and my job was to catch and rescue wildlife and take them out of harm's way. Echidnas and snakes and possums and all sorts up there, and I guess rescue the miners at the same time. So I've got a fairly diverse background in wildlife. I guess I've never done anything different, and it's my passion. So our goal really is, if you guys can have 10% of the passion that we have every time we go out to a show, then we've really achieved what we want. So if you are interested, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, or look us up at wickedwildlife.com. There'll be plenty more videos coming, visiting all our pets one-on-one and visiting some other people perhaps, and sharing our love of wildlife, guys. So stay tuned.